Paulina and welcome to my channel. This is Books We Love. Today I am very excited to have you back and accompany me in this unhauling. I did buy a lot of books this past weekend and I received them all since they were from Amazon, so they got here super fast and now I have them here with me and I wanted to show them to you guys. If you guys have read any of these books or want to know more about these books, go ahead and give them a comment below, as I'm going to talk a little bit about each and every one of them that I did buy. So first off, we have Hunting Prince Dracula by Kerri Menilasco. I hope I said the last name right. Basically, this is a sequel to Stalking Jack the Ripper. I love mystery, and I think I don't read enough of it, even though I love it as much. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it did. Anyways, this one follows Audrey and Thomas again. Where we left off, she was trying to find this murderer who was killing women all across her hometown. And this one, I think, is going to follow kind of the same structure where she's trying to figure out a crime. The characters in this book are actually very interesting. And one of my biggest wow factors for me was how the author was able to bring a little bit more of feminism into the story. She is born in a world where basically men rule and she doesn't have a say in what she wants to do, what she wants to work. Her job is basically to please men, and she doesn't like that. So she goes above and beyond to prove to her father, prove to her brother, prove to everyone around her that she's more than what society has taught her to be. So I thought that was pretty cool. In the first book, she studied the dead and she loved that. And people thought that she was weird because she liked that deadly type of stuff. But she's a great character, a badass woman, and I think it's an amazing story. And the author was able to incorporate a little bit of feminism in the story. Love it. The second book that I bought is Straight On to Morning by Liz Braswell. Another twisted tale. I read the Beauty and the Beast retelling one and it was great. This author decided to basically write a bunch of different Disney retellings and kind of makes them a little bit twisted. For example, the one that I read was the Beauty and the Beast, and it was a little bit more mature, a little bit more weird and messed up. And this one is apparently the same thing. I wouldn't say it's dark per se. The first one that I read, I thought it was going to be darker, and it really still can be considered a YA. It's nothing out of this world of darkness. However, I think that since I'm obsessed with Peter Pan, I'm probably going to like this retelling, and I was very excited to just get it. I'm a big Peter Pan book collector, so I try to get as many retellings as I can and versions of the story because I really, really like Peter Pan and all the stories. So I think it's going to be good to have it in my repertoire, even if I love it or not. The third book that I bought is The Damned by Renee Ahdieh, another sequel that I need to get to this year. If you read it or if you saw my last video about the mid-year freakout tag, you did see that I did mention this story, and I am very excited to read it. I haven't had a chance to yet because I was finishing my City of Bones reread. But now that I'm almost done, I'm only missing 2 books. I think I want to read this next. The cover is beautiful. The inside cover is actually purple, a lilac color, and I absolutely love the colors. And I can't wait to take pictures for my Bookstagram on it. So pretty cool story. This one follows Celine and Bastien, and they're uncovering these crimes that have been forming in New Orleans. We left off the first book, not spoiler at all, but we left off with Celine continuing to try to figure out who the person that was, or who the people that were killing these girls were. And the story is going to continue in The Damned. And there's also vampires involved, which is obviously always a great thing to have in your stories. Next up, I bought 2 books of the Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. This was an accident. I had no idea that I bought 2 until I opened the box and I realized that I bought 2 and I clicked them twice, I guess, and now I have 2 books. What am I gonna do with the other one? I'm thinking about doing a giveaway. If you guys would like that idea, go ahead and tell me in the comment section below. But anyways, if you obviously probably have heard of this book already, this is a novella of the Hunger Games trilogy. I absolutely adored the Hunger Games trilogy, and this one follows Captain Snow and what happens before he becomes all mean and destroys the world. I'm very interested. I've heard good things about the story, and I think that it's a little bit darker than our Hunger Games trilogy, and I just can't wait to get back into this world, as I really did love it. I might actually try to reread the Hunger Games, but we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to read all the books that I want to read, so I'm very excited for this one. as you see, and you'll see in this book next, I did buy a lot of sequels that I need to get to. I have the first book, read the first book, loved or hated, but anyways, and now I need to finish the series. Another one is After We Collided by Anna Todd. So I read After, and although I didn't love it, it is a very intriguing and a very addicting read. The books are huge. The first one was big. This one is even bigger. And honestly, it was based on a fan fiction, a One Direction fan fiction. So I don't understand how this author wrote so much and made it so appealing to read, I guess. It's not anything out of this world. We follow Harry Styles, or Harden, and the girl, which I forgot her name, Tessa and Harden. Tessa is a very goody two-shoes. She's perfect and tries to follow her mother's footsteps. Harden is our typical bad boy, and they have a very toxic relationship. And I didn't love it. However, again, guilty pleasure, I need to finish his stories. And they're like 5, and one is bigger than the other one. But anyways, it is a Harry Styles fan fiction, so I couldn't say no, couldn't resist. And now that I read it, I just need to continue reading it because I need to know what happens at the end. And I'm hoping that Harden is going to be a little bit of a nicer guy, and she's going to stop being so annoying. Hopefully. Another book that I bought is Life and Death Twilight Reimagined by Stephenie Meyer. So if you guys heard, Midnight Sun is coming, if I'm not mistaken, August 4th, and I'm so very excited to get back into my Twilight world. I'm gonna probably try to do the readathon that the novel is hosting, and I really want to reread them, so I'm probably gonna start in one of these days. However, for the 10th anniversary, Stephenie Meyer released this edition, which is basically a gender switch. So instead of Edward being the vampire, it's actually Bella. The names have changed and everything, but it's basically a gender switch between who the vampire is, and it's a little bit of a different take on the Twilight. I never read it for some reason, so I decided why not. It was very cheap on Amazon, and I've been wanting to read it, and now that I'm kind of in the Twilight mode again and the vampire mode, I decided it was time for me to finally get my hands on this and get back into the world that got me into reading. Another book that I'm very excited to get to is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This one is not an Amazon buy. I actually got this one on Book of the Month. It was actually my last book before I canceled my subscription. They are a really great company. The only reason that I canceled my subscription was because, one, I have way too many books that I have to get to, and it was kind of like a compromise doing a book every month that I was really not reading, and also because I was very interested in doing the YA section that they had, but they canceled that for some reason, and they started doing a little bit more mature books, but I'm really not interested in those type of books, so I stopped it altogether. I thought it was better to just save myself a little bit of money and just buy books as I go. But this one was the last credit that I had, and I did hear so many good things about it that I was like, you know what, let me just get this one while they have it and while I still have the subscription box available to me. This one, I honestly don't know what it's about. I do know it's horror and that it's Hispanic, so I found that very interesting. I haven't read a Hispanic book in forever, and I feel like that is very important. This year I have been trying to read more diverse books and diverse authors, so I've been trying to immerse myself in more books about the Black community. I want to read a book about Chinese history. I've been trying to read nonfiction to know more about the issues that our world has been going through, and I think it is very important to take myself out of my comfort zone and read books that are important and relate to my culture as well. So I think that this is very important to read, and I'm very excited to read it. I do know that it's horror, and apart from that, though, I'm going to be very surprised because I haven't even read the synopsis, so I think that's a good way to come into a book. And apart, the cover is beautiful, and I've heard A+ things about it. This book is Crave by Tracy Wolff. I've heard that it's basically a book very similar to Twilight. The cover is very similar to Twilight. It is very similar, like it's red, black, white. It literally has even the same font, if I'm not mistaken. And again, this is another one that I have no idea what it's about. I just know that it's about vampires, and that it follows a similar plotline to Twilight. I've heard good and bad things. One, that is much of a copy to Twilight. Others, that it's better. But all in all, as I've been stating and saying way too much in my videos, I really like vampires, and all the stories that have vampires have actually made me happy. And I haven't read one in forever. The ones that stick to my mind are obviously Twilight, The Damned, that I haven't finished reading, and The Vampire Academy. And all of those books I absolutely devoured and I really liked. So I think Crave is gonna be another one that's gonna probably succeed my expectations since I like that vampire story so much. Now, for my most exciting book or series that I bought, I finally have my hands on the Throne of Glass series. This is very heavy, so I'm gonna put it down, but I'm so very excited to finally have this in my hands. I read A Court of Thorns and Roses and I fell in love with Sarah J Maas and basically anything she has to offer, and I basically got interested in her whole fandom, and I wanted to start building myself into more books that she has bought, and obviously this series is the one that started it all for her, so I wanted to give it a try. However, the books are a lot and they're very big. Like, for example, Kingdom of Ash is the last book and it's huge, so I felt kind of intimidated to buy it. However, there's this amazing bookstagrammer that I follow, and she has a, I'm gonna put her link down below so you guys can see it. She doesn't have any more available though, but it's a very beautiful book cover for these edition of books. It's basically beautiful, and it's a sleeve basically, so instead of having the covers that Sarah J Maas built, or that the author built, it's gonna have new ones that kind of match and blend it more together. So I saw them and I couldn't resist, and they're coming soon, so I was like, you know what, I actually bought those and I don't have the books yet, so I knew I needed to get the books ASAP. So I finally got them, and I'm very excited to give them a start. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to start this series, because as you see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books, and that's a lot. But anyways, I'm very excited to finally have it in my hands, and at least now I can't say that I can't begin them because I don't have them. So very excited to do that. And anyway, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed my books. I hope you enjoy my videos. Please go ahead and give them a like and subscribe so you can keep watching these amazing videos that I hope you guys like. Bye and happy reading!